Hello and welcome back to the X-Ring. I know I normally don't do reloading videos or videos about reloading, but you guys know that I do a lot of reloading, especially for precision rifle shooting. So one of the things I want to talk about today, when I came back from the match over the weekend, this had arrived on Friday, and this is the Area 419 Zero press. So let's talk in detail about this press and what makes it so unique. Stay tuned. Now, in full disclosure, this was not provided to me for free by Area 419. This is something that we purchased, and I just had to have it. Well, I did take a look at it initially at the Hornady PRC match out in Utah, and I really liked what it offered. And let's talk about it in detail. So what you've got is you've got this huge piece of billet aluminum here. You have a 9-head turret. And what I've got set up in here is I actually have my 6 Creedmoor set up in position 1 and 2, 6.5 Creedmoor in 3 and 4, 5 and 6 has the 6 arc, and then I have 223 Ackley improved, and in position 9 I have my decapping die. So the name Zero Press is exactly what it states. I mean, if you look at it, it's one of the biggest presses you'll ever see. I've never owned a press this large, whether it was a Hornady or whether it was something like an RCBS. But it's all billet aluminum. There is zero play in it. And when I say zero play, if I move this press here, I'm not getting any slop anywhere. And ultimately, I think that's going to mean less slop in the press itself. It is extremely smooth, guys. But there's a lot of other details to it other than just the smoothness. I'm going to show you how this works, and we'll talk about some of the features that it offers. On the left side of the press here, you're going to see this nut, which you have a 10 Newton meters wrench that is provided with it. And it is okay to loosen this with the torque wrench. I know that's usually not the case using a torque wrench to loosen, but it is okay for this one. You're going to release this, and what this is going to do is back out this locking collar. And as you back out this locking collar, this is going to free up the turret to be able to rotate to a different position. It has a very, very distinct detent. I'll show you the stainless ball underneath, but we're going to go ahead and remove it. So I'm going to unscrew this to the point where I can actually remove the turret, and that wouldn't be enough, and I'll show you why. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this out all the way, and you're going to see how this collar works like this. Now let's look at this other side. Now that you've seen that, what we're going to do is we're going to lift this turret off of here. And I want you to pay particular attention to this area right in here, because this works very similar to tooling on a CNC machine. And what's going to happen is when this is inserted, this is actually going to lock in. And guys, there's no play here. Okay, so it's really going to pull it down, put it in the proper location, and you're not going to have any slop. So let me go ahead and set the turret down, and let's take a look up top. Now, looking at the top of this, you're going to see it does have some oil from shipping. I didn't put that on there. They say it doesn't require any oil. You do have a ball bearing here and then a spring underneath. So this is going to be what indexes under the bottom of the turret here. You guys can see that. And then coming on down, you're going to see this little funnel area. Now, this funnel area is where your primers would go, your spent primers. And this right here is actually going to be the press itself for the shaft. Now you're going to notice that it looks like this is captive, and it indeed is. If you take this and remove it, I'll show you guys this up close. This takes up any slop that this might have, okay? When you take this off, what you're going to see is there is a little collet here that goes around this. There's also an O-ring down in here. Now, the O-ring is not necessary. They will ship you another one if you did lose or damage that O-ring. And what this does is takes out a lot of that lateral slop out of the shell holder. Once you tighten this down, you still have the ability, now I'm going to completely tighten that, you still have the ability to rotate this, but it stops a lot of the slop left and right. Coming up here to the actual press itself, on the lever, you do have the choice of left or right side with a pinch nut here on the side. And on this is on ball bearings. So very, very smooth. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and place the turret back on top. Let me go ahead and place the camera back in the holder. I'm going to put this in position 1. And it actually will go down further. You guys see that? But when you use this, it will actually pull it down into the lock position. So we're going to get this started. And I want you to watch the head here. The head should move downwards as we lock this. Here we go. There it goes. It's pulling it down. And we're just going to rotate this. I'm going to let you guys see this until it clicks. Once it clicks, that's sufficient pressure. This is locked into place. All right, so we're going to take some brand new Lapua brass, and anytime you get new brass, regardless of who the manufacturer is, you should always size it before you start loading. So I'm going to take some Imperial case wax. I'll place it in here. Position 1 is going to resize. And guys, it's just so smooth and effortless. I don't know if it's because it is so large and there's so much mass here, but it takes almost no effort to size this to where it needs to be. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take some of the brass from the competition dynamics match, and before I start to load this, I need, of course, to clean it. Before I start to clean it, first thing I want to do is pop out those primers. So what I'll do is I'll take my wrench. I'm just going to loosen this so that I can rotate this to position 9. Position 9 for me is going to be the universal decapping die. And what I'm going to do is place it in here. Press gently. Doing this with my left hand for the camera. And it is just so smooth and effortless, guys. Now, what's unique about it, and another aspect, is that I don't have primers going all over the floor like I typically do with my RCBS. Some will jump out of the tray. But what happens is that primer goes into this funnel here, this channel, and they will go into this nice little billet aluminum cup here. So there's all the primers. I'm going to go ahead and place that back in. Additionally, it does come with this black mounting plate. They do have risers for this. I don't think I need one. So basically this shell plate, or this plate here, mounts underneath the press itself with 4 bolts. They do provide those bolts as well as these 3 that go through the table, along with the washers and the nuts for it. Now, another thing I want to talk about is that play. There's no slop here, okay? If I hold the ball, you might hear it, but that's just in the ball. The actual shaft itself has no play. If I take this RCBS, which was actually replaced about 2 years ago because I developed a crack in the hinge here, you can see how much play that has in it. We don't even want to talk about those partner presses. That's usually for light work, and when you move those, you can wiggle it about 1/2 of an inch each direction. Guys, this press right here is something that you really have to experience it and use it to understand the difference. Now, I know it's very expensive. Price point on this is $1,200. That being said, even if you're using like a Forster coax, which is going to be over $500, yeah, you could probably buy 2 of those for what this is going to cost. Is this going to make you shoot better? Probably not, but it will make your reloading a little more repeatable, I believe, okay? I know I have some variances with the RCBS. It's good enough to do what I need to do, but this is just that next step. This is something that's going to last me a lifetime. I think it's one of those buy once, cry once, and I really do like the quality, and I like the aesthetics of it. It looks great. So I hope you guys enjoyed that review of the Area 419 Zero Press. Big shout out to those guys. They do a great job at what they do with regards to precision rifle shooting and a lot of the accessories and everything they make. And I do appreciate this kind of quality. Hope you guys enjoyed this short review of the Zero Press. I hope you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.